Welcome to this segment of Pigskin Preview on KMHT as we talk to the head coach of the ETBU Tigers, Mark Sartain. Tigers were off last Saturday. Last time they played was 2 weeks ago when they lost to the number 3 ranked team in the nation, University of Mary Hardin-Baylor, 54-30. And Coach, you've had time to think about that game. There were, even though you lost, there were some good things that did happen for your football team in that ball game.
Well, we had a 21-17 halftime lead, which is a positive. We moved the ball at will. We scored 30 points on a team that's renowned for their defensive play over the last decade. Of course, the conference powerhouse that everybody's trying to chase. We just made some mistakes, and they made some plays in the third quarter that kind of blew it open, kind of removed the opportunity there for us to win. We still, even late in the third quarter, we responded, and it was a tie ball game and a one-touchdown game until they had sort of an onslaught of some special teams issues. But, we were pleased with the offensive output, especially, Sed Harris's performance. They didn't have an answer for him, and, we set a new record for them as rushing yards allowed by Mary Hardin-Baylor defense. So, we did some good things. We just didn't do enough of those good things to counteract the good things they did.
Well, the Killeen Daily Herald reported after the ball game that Coach Pete Friedenberg actually went and talked to Harris after the ball game and said, "Hey, we're glad you're no longer going to be on the Tiger football team." He's one of those seniors graduating.
Well, I know there's a lot of defensive coordinators and head coaches that are going to be glad to see Sed depart. Of course, he's an incredible athlete and an even more incredible young man, and he's been a very welcome bright spot for our season this year. And we hope that he can continue for a couple of weeks and really put the icing on the cake, so to speak, and cap a great career, and hopefully be recognized for his accomplishments when it's all over with.
Visiting with Mark Sartain here on Pigskin Preview, talking ETB football tomorrow at Ornelas Stadium, 2 p.m. kickoff against Howard Payne University. It's the last home game of the year for the Tigers. And Coach, last week Howard Payne lost Mary Hardin-Baylor 57-6, and you got to say, okay, this should be an easy game for us. But matchups are all about. I mean, the matchups are important. They could probably see some weaknesses you have and capitalize on that. And kind of explain, even though the scores do not indicate your expected outcome sometimes.
Well, that's a trap that a lot of folks fall into, and even sometimes coaches and players. But it's something that you learn early in this profession that you just can't compare scores with common opponents, because unless you have an identical squad with the same strengths and weaknesses, it's not going to be an accurate assessment of your opportunity to win a game or to match up, because it's all about matchups. It's individual matchups, 11 of them out there on the field at a time, and it's matching up strengths to strengths, weaknesses to weaknesses. So you've got to be very careful when you look at common opponent scores. It's just not always accurate indication of what's at stake and what's in store. And Howard Payne runs something we've not seen all year, nor have we seen since I've been at ETBU in 5 seasons. They run the true triple option, and they run it from a double slot and 6-foot splits, and they create just the scheme itself creates some issues for our defense and every defense. It's just a matter of how we're going to line up and how we're going to perform in those 11 individual matchups, because option football is all about assignment football. And UMHB was powerful enough and explosive enough just to line up and just sort of stymie them. Our strengths are not their strengths, so we'll have to do it a little different way, and we'll see how it works out.
As you face Howard Payne, what's some of the things that you need to do to be able to have that one extra point on the board when it's all over with a win?
Well, our big bugaboo this year has been giving up the big play at the big time, and we just can't allow that. We've just got to cease that. And many times those big plays have come on our own errors or unforced mistakes. We've got to eliminate those. As far as stopping Howard Payne, they want to establish the inside running game with a very explosive fullback that they want to be their leading ground gainer, as is the case in all the triple option schemes. So we need to shut that down first and basically spill the ball to the outside and be able to make tackles on the edge and prevent the big play. Those are the things we've got to do to win.
Got about a minute left in this segment, Coach. Kind of talk about some players that are be leaving your program because they're seniors, they graduate. It's kind of, you'd like to have them here because they provide leadership, but wish someone could come back, like I said, Harris. But talk about saying bye to some of these guys.
Well, it's always tough. It's always tough, especially these guys that are 4-year guys that have been here from the get-go, that have invested a great deal in this program. You're always sad to see them, their season, their career come to an end, especially when it's been somewhat disappointing overall, but we plan on finishing it right. But we've got 14 seniors that will be playing their last home game, and then 2 other young men who will be playing their last home game who are not seniors on the field, but they are going to graduate early, so they'll be leaving our program. But those guys are Andrew Boyce, Tony Cavness, Chris Craddy, Patrick Gandy, Dwayne Hamilton, Sed Harris, Rafe Jenkins, Chance Johnson, Cameron Miller, Slim Muhammad, Brett Petticord, Jair Stover, Matt Tarver, Fred Taylor, Bernard Westbrook, and Stephen Wright. And that's a special group of guys that have hung in there. Most of these guys are 4-year guys for us. They're guys that came in as freshmen and have stuck it out and endured the ups and downs and the academic pitfalls and the financial challenges that come along with playing Division III football. And we're proud of their accomplishments. We really, really want to send them out with a good taste in their mouth.
Tigers' last home game of the season tomorrow, 2 p.m. kickoff at Ornelas against Howard Payne. Best of the Tigers, Coach.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you for listening to this segment of Pigskin Preview. I'm Mike Midkiff.